Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some disappointing products. I've done a pretty good job of hoarding most of them. Sometimes if I really despise something, I give it off to a friend right away. That sounds horrible. If I just know it's a universally bad product, I'll just get rid of it. But if it's something that's just personal preference, whether it's a shade or maybe it's something that's like too drying on my normal to dry skin and I have a friend with a little bit more oily skin type, then it may be something that works for them. So that's what I mean. I'm not saying like, oh my God, that sucks. Here you go, friend, have it. So just to clarify, but let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm gonna go ahead and get this product out of the way first. So I didn't even realize until further inspection, every now and then I just get random PR from brands that I've never really heard of. So this is the brand Moon. It's just an oral care line, I guess. There's whitening strips, there's toothpaste. The toothpaste I actually really don't mind. And I think it's actually a Kendall Jenner brand. She's either face of it or it is her brand. I haven't investigated enough, clearly, but honestly, this was so gross. This is a product where I wouldn't give to anyone because honestly, I just don't think anybody could gargle with this and be like, oh, that's okay, I can get through it. I have never had a nastier mouthwash in my life. So this is just the alcohol-free activated charcoal whitening mouth rinse. I was excited about whitening because I've talked about my corn teeth before. They're stained, but they're so sensitive. I would love to be able to use Crest white strips, but I just can't. So I was really stoked to use this. It's fluoride free, but you guys, the second I put it in my mouth, I instantly had to spit it out. I felt like I was gonna puke after. I can't even describe the taste. It's gnarly. I can't do it. I don't know. If you use this, I guess you just have the taste buds of steel because gross. I couldn't do it. All right, moving on, we have a skincare product. I'm really sad that this didn't work out because this is a stupid reason, but the packaging is just so stinking cute. So this is a skincare brand from Too Faced, which I love their hangover, not sunscreen. They came out with like a hangover, like all-in-one type of moisturizer, and then there's one in a blue bottle as well that I featured in empties before. I loved both of those, so I thought for sure I would really like this. It says hydrate, sleep, and glow. Hydrate and glow, I mean, yes, please. Those are things that I love, but something about this, oh, it's an ultra nourishing night cream. My face broke out instantly. I don't really have the most sensitive skin either. I feel like I can test out new skincare pretty often and not have any weird adverse side effects, but this, I instantly woke up with just tiny bumps all across my jawline. Anytime I do find a product like that, for whatever reason, I'm like, I know my face was sensitive to it, but maybe my hands and my neck will be okay, and I'll just use it as a neck cream. That didn't work either. I didn't get bumps on my neck, but my neck was so itchy the next morning. So clearly that's just more of, you know, a personal side effect, I'm guessing. I don't know. Do you guys have this? Did you have any weird effects from it? I do have one other skincare product. I actually just showed this in my recent Glossy Box Advent Calendar unboxing. I've been loving doing those. I don't know what it is about advent calendars. It's so fun. You get like mini prizes for every day, or if you're crazy like me, you just open them all in one day. I mean, if I didn't have a channel, no, even if I didn't have a channel, I would still probably be opening them every day because I'm horrible with surprises. But I got this in there, and at first I was really excited for it. It just sounds lovely. I feel bad because clearly I'm pretty sure it's a smaller brand. They probably make other great products, but this was something that just did not work for me. So it's from the brand Hey Honey. It's the Sweet Treat Wild Berry and Honey Yogurt Recovery Mask. It says that it restores the appearance of dull skin impacted by environmental factors. I will say it smells really good. It smelled exactly like I thought it would. Light, creamy berry yogurt. But I honestly didn't notice anything. Now I know with masks, sometimes you have to use them multiple times to get any sort of effect, but I have a lot of masks in my skincare collection, and there's several where I just instantly notice dehydration or just more like supple, plump, glowy skin. This honestly kind of just felt like a moisturizer going on. You're supposed to keep it on for 15 minutes. And then when you rinse it, it almost feels like you're washing lotion off your face. It just didn't do anything for me. And honestly, I think I would be more forgiving if it weren't for the price tag. This small 15 or half a fluid ounce, I believe was like either $15 or $21. There was a catalog that came with the advent calendar showing all the prices. This was a deluxe size mini, and I'm sorry, for that price, that's outrageous. I've only used it twice so far. I'm guessing you could get 4 to 5 uses out of this, but I have no desire to go in and try it again. It just Sorry, it was a dud. I've tried masks from the drugstore that I liked way more than that. I think everything else for the most part is makeup. So this is the Nuance Quartet in Sugar Blossom. They came out with 2 different palettes. I did keep the other, but the shades in here are just kind of whatever to me. The highlighters are beautiful, but I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a bronzer or a blush. If it is supposed to be a bronzer, that's kind of what I'm judging it by. It's not good. I don't mind a neutral or ashy tone bronzer, but something about this formula, I felt like I had to build so much, and then by the time I got it to the actual amount where a color would appear, it just almost had this weird silver cast to it. Like I said, the highlighters are beautiful, but the blush just isn't for me, so I guess I'm kind of just being a harsh critic over here and just really judging it by this shade. I just feel like even if you were really fair, this shade, it's just a weird formula that gets muddy really quickly. Let's go ahead and knock a few foundations out of the way because I do have several in here. First up, this is the Revlon Candid Glow. Now, the original Revlon Photo Ready Candid, I mean, it is foundation, but I almost think of it more of a CC cream and not like an IT Cosmetics type of CC cream. That definitely has way more coverage than this. I thought for sure with how much I loved the original Candid formula that I would love the Glow formula. However, this is even a lighter coverage than the Candid, almost like zero coverage. Once I go in and blend it out, I feel like there's nothing on my skin, but I can see bits of pigmentation in my pores. Typically, whenever I go in with a foundation, I mean, obviously I have pores, everyone does, but something about this accentuated my pores, but not leaving pigmentation anywhere else on my face. So I just had beige, slightly shimmery pores. It just did not work out for me. I did go in with multiple methods and none of them seemed to work. I tried it with my fingers, a brush, a sponge. It just did not want to work for me, which is a bummer because I was really excited about that one. But if you haven't tried the original Candid and you're just looking for an everyday lightweight, light, slightly buildable coverage foundation, the Candid one is really good. I wouldn't recommend it though if you have oily skin. Next up, kind of similar packaging. This is from Becca. This came out several years ago, but I think every time that I've done a disappointing products video, I somehow always manage to forget this one. This is the Becca Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation infused with Glow Nectar Brightening Complex. I was a huge fan of the Becca, wow, I just spit, sorry. The Becca Aqua Luminous Foundation. If I didn't have a drawer full of foundations, I would definitely rush out and repurchase that one. It is so nice if you're just looking for an everyday, dewy, glowy type of lightweight formula. This, however, looked terrible on my skin. I've watched several reviews on this and most of them tend to be negative, so I know it's not just like with my normal to dry skin type. Your pores just eat this up. It's not quite as intense as the Revlon Candid one in a way where you'll actually get pigmentation on the rest of your skin, but something about my pores just vacuums this formula up to where you see every single pore on my face, like ones that I didn't even know that existed. I just couldn't get it to work. I tried it with multiple primers. I tried it with no primer. I tried it after my SPF fully soaked in, and no matter what I did, it just always looked terrible. So sorry, more like Becca skin hate. One more foundation. I talked about this whenever I did my foundation drawer declutter or foundation collection. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I'll go ahead and link it up above. This is from Ciate. I have plenty of products that I actually love from Ciate. They make an amazing highlighter. They make those dew sticks. If you like more of just a balmy type of highlighter or just all-in-one glow balm, that's beautiful. However, the Extraordinary foundation just did not work out for me. This says Radiant Buildable Coverage Foundation. This is pretty high coverage right off the bat, but there is nothing radiant about this. To me, it just feels heavier on the skin. It doesn't have that actual moussey texture that the old school Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation has, but the way that it feels on the skin is very similar to that. What I mean is it's a foundation where once I apply it, if I were to go like this, I feel like the foundation would just like roll up. Have you ever been to one of those Asian ice cream shops where they like smear the ice cream on the ice plate and then they like go in with some sort of scraper and the ice cream like rolls up? That's the effect that I feel like I would get under my fingernail. Oh, does that give you the heebie-jeebies? That's what this feels like on the skin. I just couldn't do it. It was another foundation that I tried multiple ways. I'll always try a foundation more than once because there's been foundations that I actually hate the first time and then I go in with a different method the second time and I end up loving it. I couldn't get it to work. It just felt too heavy on my face. It like broke up on my smile lines. It was just no bueno. Speaking of primers, we have a couple in here. First up, we have, actually I think all three are from the drugstore. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Prime Plus Brightening and Skin Tone Evening Makeup and Skincare Primer. It has complex infused with lemon extract and vitamin E and C. I honestly thought I was going to like this one more than the, I think it's smoothing or pore blurring, but something about that one actually sets the skin beautifully. This, however, was so just meh on the skin. Plus, if you get any of it in your eyes, it burns so bad. My foundation actually kind of like pilled up on top of this. It just didn't work out for me. I have two primers. This one lost its lid. From Joa, this is like a Kiss brand K-Beauty inspired makeup line. So we have the Glow Activator Radiance Primer and then the Blur Activator infused with Camellia Oil Mineral Primer. Both of these are so heavy and greasy on my skin. I thought maybe I could get this one to work. Honestly, whenever I first looked at these, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna love this one. I don't know if IT Cosmetics still makes it, but way back in the day, even before Hourglass came out with theirs, they had a primer that looked very similar to this that I loved. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is gonna be it. Nope, sorry. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did do a first impressions using these and I had to go in with a makeup wipe to remove it. I just couldn't do it. I just instantly wanted to wash my face. They just felt grimy and gross. Then we have 3 blushes in here. I also recently posted a blush collection and declutter video, so I'll be sure to link that as well. This is a blush that I actually hear so many people rave about. So this is from, I always forget, it is a K-Beauty brand. This is from, I think it's Pew, the Juicy Bang blushers. I don't know if I just got the wrong shade or maybe I'm just not looking for the same finish that other people are. I've had this for, I think, over a year now. I've tried it multiple ways. The whole packaging is really cute. It looks like a little nail polish bottle and it actually does have a nice, just a very subtle, clean, refreshing type of scent to it. I have mine in CR02. This shade is just the general type of blush shade I always gravitate towards. Something peachy, almost like a muted terracotta type of orange. But this was so sheer on my face. I had to go in with multiple layers. Once I got up to that point, I should have gone in with one of my Flower Beauty blush bombs or the Grande Cosmetics blush or the NARS liquid blushes. It just took too much work to get the desired pigmentation. Maybe if you have really, really fair skin, you would get more out of this, but it just didn't work for me. This is from Innisfree. This is the Smart Drawing Blusher. I have mine in the shade number 5. So instead of a nail polish formula or applicator, this has a little brush tip that you just squeeze, which this is definitely user-friendly. However, just like the Juicy Bang one, it's so freaking sheer. So it comes out kind of like a gel-like texture. Then as I go in it and blend it in, do you see how light that is? I feel like this doesn't show up on my face though. I mean, that's more pigmentation on my hand and that's barely any pigmentation than what I see on my face. One other cream blush, I know, a little bit excessive, but I've been on a cream liquid complexion kick lately. This is from Maybelline. It's the Cheek Heat Sheer Gel cream blush. I have mine in 15 Nude Burn. I did do a first impression whenever I think Maybelline first launched one of their, what was it? Was it the Urban Wear foundation or Urban Cover foundation? And this, whenever I first used this, I did like it, but as I dove deeper into cream blushes, it was kind of the same thing as with the previous 2 cream blushes. I just have other blushes that I think perform way better than this one. If you are looking for a cream blush from the drugstore, I would definitely choose the Flower Beauty one over this. It's not a bad formula. I do think this one is better than the previous 2 that I mentioned, but I would still pick others before I ever went with this one. So I just figured it was time to get rid of that. Okay, then moving on to mascaras. First up is this lash primer from Essence. This is the Volume Booster Lash Primer Super Volume with Super Fruits. I really like the color combination of this packaging. Essence actually makes my all-time favorite mascara, the Lash Princess, but in waterproof. That mascara is everything and more. It's only $4.99. A lot of the times over at Ulta, you can find them for like buy one, get one free or buy one, get one half off. So I had picked this up along with that mascara and this is so disgusting. I remember using the Lancome lash primer way back in the day. Something about this lash primer, I can't even describe the texture. Typically, lash primers will kind of dry down more to a softer mascara finish and then you go in and you coat it after. This though stays so wet on my lashes to whenever I do go in with the mascara, it just instantly makes my lashes like, they look like they're throwing up gang signs. I don't mind spidery lashes just because I have thinner lashes anyway, so sometimes the spidery look makes them look more voluminous. But this, it went from having maybe 20 lashes on one eye to having 2. It was gross. I tried it multiple times. I tried it with a lash comb. It didn't work out. I guess maybe lash primer is something you do need to go ahead and spend a little more on, or just skip that formula because it sucked. Then we have a mascara from L'Oreal. I just realized over the years when it comes to drugstore mascaras, besides Essence, I think Maybelline is my go-to. I have found so many mascaras that I love with Maybelline, but I just don't seem to have quite as much luck with the L'Oreal mascaras. Even whenever I go in with waterproof ones, I just find their formulas to be much wetter than, moist, then that just continued to get worse and worse. Maybelline mascaras. So I just stick to Maybelline and Essence. I know people actually love this mascara. I meant to give this to my mom because I think this is one that she would actually like. This is the Bambi Eye Mascara. Oh, but she doesn't like waterproof. I thought I would like it because of the brush. It's just one of those stiff rubber brushes that really goes in and separates, but this just didn't do anything for me, even with it being waterproof, and even after letting it age for like a week or 2, it just still stayed too wet, where the second I coated my lashes, they instantly fell down. Whereas with the Maybelline and Essence mascaras, once they've been like marinating for like a good week, they're at their prime, they hold my lashes up. That one just did not work for me. Oh, I thought this was a mascara. I was like, did I try 2 lash primers? This is a brow styler from Almay. Unfortunately, this one, I think I'm just so spoiled with the Maybelline Fiberizer brow mask. I always forget the name of it. I've used it for years and I can never get the name right. Either that one or the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I realize that one is much more expensive, so I would hope that it would perform better than this. But this, I had high hopes for, because whenever I first applied it, my brows looked really wet. I was like, oh, they're gonna stay in place. But if I just barely went in it and brushed them down with my fingers, my brows just went down right away. It didn't mold them or keep them in shape at all. Maybe if you had like feather light brows that have no coarseness to them, it would work. But for me, it just didn't really do much. Okay, I do have one other brow product in here. This is from Essence. I feel bad that I have 2 Essence products because, like I said, they do make my favorite brow mascara, or not brow mascara, just mascara. Too many brow things. I've actually tried several of these tri-tip brow pens, and either they run out too fast or they just don't have the right density in them to where they just don't create the actual effect that I'm looking for. It's the Eyebrow Pen Semi-Permanent. I had mine in dark brown. This one is in medium brown. So just like many of the other brow pens, you just have those 3 little prongs in there, so you could go in and just create a really feathery brow. But the formula of this, it's like too soft and watery. I wasn't crazy about the color. I felt like I had to go in with additional powder and brow product to even get the effect that I was looking for. Even if I wanted a softer brow, it just, I don't know, it wasn't for me. I tried, but I'm sorry. This is from JCat Beauty. It's their Eye Assurance Anti-Fatigue Cooling Under Eye Balm. This one is in the cucumber and aloe extract. They made a, I think, pomegranate coconut one, or maybe coconut one, something like that. When I first saw this, I thought maybe it would be a dupe for the Becca one, which I've never even tried that one either. But I mean, the whole concept reminded me of the Becca one. Unfortunately, this just burned my eyes. Whenever I first tapped it on, I did get a really nice cooling sensation on my under eyes. It just kind of started to really irritate my eyes to where you could almost feel like, if you've ever used like peppermint oil or tea tree oil, sometimes if you get it like too close to your eyes, for instance, if you put in peppermint oil on your temples for a headache, if you get too close to your eye area, you almost kind of get like a little bit of the fumes and your eyes just start to water and burn. That's what I got from this. And I mean, it's an under eye product, so clearly it shouldn't be doing that. That is an area that I am a little bit more sensitive though. My eyes do water easily, but I could just tell right away. Like as soon as I started tapping it in, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So that one was a no-go. Also, I did not just fry. This chair is like one of those plastic chairs, and then I move it around, so don't worry, I'm not over here tooting. If I was, I would tell you, no shame. Okay, and then finally, this is the Too Faced Matte Instant Coverage Concealer. Really, the only reason I gave this a shot was the color. I thought maybe I could use it just to kind of brighten up any darkness on the inner corners. I tend to get darkness right here more so than on my actual under eyes. I'm not even really a fan of the NARS Potted Concealer. As much as I love NARS complexion products, that concealer has just never really been a favorite. So this even the name kind of reminded me of that one, and this was just way too drying. It just looked very cakey and heavy on my skin. However, I do have a friend that loves the NARS one, so I want to give this one to her and see if she'll like it on her under eyes, or she doesn't have blemishes or whatever. If she just wants to use it on her face in general, she may get more use out of it. I have never liked their peach scented products. Well, the scent of their products, it just smells like Peachios. It's too much. But either way, even if it didn't have that scent, it was just, the formula of it was too cakey and too matte on my skin. It did not work. And I think that's it. I feel like I sounded like such a negative Nancy in this video, but I talk about products that I love all the time, so I just thought I would do a product or video on products that I don't love so much. Hopefully you found it informative. If you would like to see more of these videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I would love if you subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any future content. As always, thank you so much for hanging out today. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, be sure to leave those down below. I always love chatting with you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.